Hello, wishing you a very happy, healthy, and prosperous new year. I am Anupriya Dongre from 3rd year A Division of Computer Engineering Department from Zeal College of Engineering and Research, Pune. My team members are Ankita Dhamale and Shubham Mundari. Our project name is Money Manager. Money Manager is a GUI application developed in Python using tkinter library and MySql database for storing and analyzing the daily expenses of a person or family according to their income. Earlier, people used to note down their transactions, in short, expenses, using pen and paper, and it used to be very difficult to note down each and every transaction neatly and carry the papers or the notebook containing the transactions with them wherever they go. And if they lost that notebook, their transactions were also lost. Also, they needed to calculate the long listed expenses sum every time, and even if one of their expenses got missed, the monthly budget went wrong. So, by using the Money Manager GUI application, we can easily note down and track our expenses for future reference. We will see the features of Money Manager one by one. This is the login page of Money Manager. If you are a new user, you have to create your account in Money Manager by clicking on the sign up button provided here. Once you click on the sign up button, as you can see, a page named New Registration opens. Here we have to enter the details required. I will enter the first name as Shreya, last name Bansal, email ID or username as shreya@gmail.com. Note that email ID or username is unique for every user, so duplicate entries are not allowed here, and this username will be used at the time of login. I will enter the occupation as teacher. We have to select security question from the options provided in the combo box here. I will select security question as your first school name. We have to enter a security answer which is unique and known to us. I will enter the security answer as open skies. Remember that you will require this security question and security answer at the time of resetting your password if you forgot your password. We have to set a password for our account here. I will set the password as Shreya24 hash, and we have to confirm our password. I will enter a little bit different password here and click on the save button. We get here incomplete data message as we haven't entered the mobile number. We'll enter the mobile number as 9457633478 and click on the save button again. We get an error message as we have entered password and confirm password feels different, so I will correct it and then click on the save. This duplicate entry error message comes as this username already exists in the database, so I have to use a different mail ID as username. So I will set the username as shreya94@gmail.com and click on the save button. And we have registered successfully. We can log in with the details. If you have forgot your password and you want to reset your password, you can click on the forgot password. Setting your password, you have to first enter your username, that is shreya94@gmail.com, and click on the forgot password. A forgot password window opens. Here you have to enter the security question which you have set at the time of account creation. You have to enter the security answer which is known to you. For time being, I will enter the security answer different from the answer which was set. We have to set a new password for login. I will set the password as Shreya hash 24 and I have to confirm the new password. I will enter a little bit different password and click on the reset password button. An error occurs as we have entered new password and confirm new password feels different. I will correct it and click on the reset password button. As we have entered wrong security answer, error occurs. I will correct it and click on the reset password, and we have successfully reset our password. Finally, we have to enter the username and password, where the username is shreya94@gmail.com and the password is Shreya hash 24, and I will click on the login button. Thus, we have logged in to Money Manager's expense tracker page successfully, and we are all ready to use the Money Manager application. Further features of Money Manager will be explained by Shubham.
Myself Shubham Hundare. In previous session, Anupriya explained about login page and sign up page. In this session, we will see the main part of our project. This is our main window. We have already created user Shreya Bansal. This username appear on top left corner. Above that username, there is menu bar which contains three options. First one profile, second one file, and third history. We have divided this entire window into three frames. First frame contains expenditure information. Second frame contains details of total balance available in our account. And third frame contains credit detail table and debit detail table. In frame 1 expenditure information, we can add credit as well as debit transaction. First, we select the date on which our transaction happened. We can select the particular date from this calendar, as well as we can type manually this date in this box. We have make all fields are compulsory. If by mistake any field remains empty, then it will give us error that all fields are required. For example, without filling this field, if I press add credit detail button, it will give us error that all fields are required. Similarly, without filling this field, if I press add debit detail buttons, it will also give us error message that all fields are required. Now, amount credited. Here we can type how much amount is credited in our account on that particular date. Here, mode of credit. We can select by which mode this amount is credited. Here we have given the option like cash, debit card, net banking, UPI, and any other option we can select from this combo box. After that, money spent on. We can select for what purpose our money is spent. We have also given combo box here and probable option like EMI, maintenance, shopping, food, health, entertainment, traveling, or any other option we can specify. Amount debited. Here we can type how much amount is debited from our account on that particular date. Mode of debit. By which mode this amount is debited from our account, we can specify that mode. Now let's add some transaction. I will select first date. I will select 25th December. Amount credited will be 12,000 rupees. Mode of credit net banking. When I press add credit detail button, our data will be saved into database and this data will appear in credit detail tables. Data inserted to table successfully. I will add one more transaction. I will select date 27 December. Amount credited will be 8,000. Mode of credit will be UPI. Add credit details. Data inserted successfully. Now I will add some debit transaction. First I will select date 26th December. Money spent on, let's say, EMI. Amount debited 6,000. Mode of debit net banking. Similarly, when I press this add debit detail buttons, data will be saved into database and will appear in debit detail table. I will add one more transaction. Date 31st December. Money spent on food. Amount debited will be 3,000. Mode of debit will be UPI. Add debit details. Now we have inserted all the transaction into the database. In frame 2, details of total balance available in our account. We can get current total balance available from our account. When I press show buttons, we will get the total balance from our account. 11,000 rupees. This is the total balance now in my account. This clear button used for clearing up this field. That's all from my side. On the next part will be explained by Ankita.
Myself Ankita Dhamale. Previous part, which is basic working of Money Manager, was explained by Shubham. Now we will see some additional functionalities related to Money Manager. So let's move towards the menu bar section. Menu bar section is divided into three parts. First is Profile. Profile has two more functionalities as Edit and Logout. Next is File. File has various options such as New Transaction, Delete Transaction, Display Credit Transaction, Display Debit Transaction, and View Last Transaction. Last is History. History has two functions as Track Transaction and Track Monthly. So let's start the look with the File option. In File, we have the first option as New Transaction. Using this, you can clear the credit detail and debit detail table from frame 3. Such as if I click on this, the details get cleared and the user is all set to add the new transactions. Next up is the delete transaction. When I click on this, a window appears. Here we can delete the credit detail and the debit detail which are entered mistakenly. So first of all, we need to select the date. So here I am selecting the date and the amount credited. By clicking on this, we can delete the transaction. First, it will confirm us whether we really want to delete it or not. And when we say yes, it will give us the message box that credited transaction has deleted successfully. And all the rest of the transactions will be appear in the table. Similarly, for the debit detail, we can even enter the date, choose the expenditure and the amount debited. Similarly, it will again ask whether we want to really delete it. Yes. It will give us the message box of deleted successfully, and rest of the transactions will be appear here. By pressing on back, we are back to the main window. I'll select the new transaction. Next, display credit transaction and display debit transaction. Here, by clicking on these buttons, we are able to see all the transactions done till date, such as the message box says that the data has entered successfully. Here all the art credit transaction done till date and all the debit transactions done till date.
Next is the view last transaction. By clicking on this, we can see when was the last transaction done by the user. It says 27th of December and 31st of December and also shows all the related information. Back. Next up in history, we have two options, track transaction and track monthly. When we click on track transaction, a window appears. Here, we can keep check of total money earned, total money spent, and total money available in between specific period. Let's select a date. Let's say from October 1 till 31st December. And when we click on show button, it will give us the amount earned, spent, and available in between those days. Even we can see the graphical view. Here we have two options, bar chart and pie chart. Let us see the bar chart. We need to click on the view option. Here we get the bar chart, which is debit amount versus expenditure. Similarly, we can have a pie chart. By clicking on view button, we get the view. Here we can analyze the expenditure done. By clicking on clear button, we can clear the details and check for rest of the months. Next up in history, we have track monthly. Here we can compare amount credited and amount debited in between 2 months. Now let's check amount credited and debited in month of May and September. And by clicking on compare button, it will give us the sum of amount credit and debit in between those months. And thus we can analyze our expenditure. By clicking on clear, we can clear the data and check for other months. We can also get yearly graphical representation of all debit and credit transactions. Here we have three options, bar graph, line graph, and stacked bar graph. First, let us see bar graph. By clicking on monthly history, we get this graph. Here we can compare the credit and debit transaction done in between these months. Similarly, for line graph, click on monthly history and we get this graph. And stack bar graph. Thus, we can analyze our transactions done. This is for the monthly tracker. Now, the last is profile. Here we have edit option. Here, user can see all his personal data and even edit it if he wants. In the update field, we have options such as first name, last name, occupation, mobile number, and password. Email ID should be unique and hence can't be updated. So, suppose I want to edit my mobile number, I'll select the option and thus enter the data. By clicking on update, it will give me the message box that mobile number updated successfully. And hence we can see over here that the data gets updated. Back. Now the last option is logout. As the name suggests, by clicking on this, the user gets logged out of this main window. and even get the message box that we have logged out successfully. This is it for the Money Manager. Hope you like our project. Thank you.